All right, everyone, it just ticked over to 12:15, so we'll get started. Welcome to our virtual user group meeting for July. I hope everyone's having a great week, and we'll get stuck into things. So the agenda for today, same as always, we've got questions, features, and any bug updates that have gone into TransIT over the past 4 weeks, and we'll go over a tip of the month as well. So the questions that we received through our support line over the last 4 weeks, how do we open a new page so I don't lose my current position in TransIT? Most pages do open into a new tab for you inside of TransIT. If it doesn't, you can just use the keyboard command Control and hold that down and left click your mouse and it'll open a new tab for you. In regards to the snapshot summary chart icon, this is a fairly new feature that we discussed last virtual user group meeting. When you do create your current snapshot, the icon before you create it is orange, and then after you create it, it turns blue. So it was just a question that came through in regards to why the color was changing. It just means that you're on your current snapshot if it's blue. If it's orange, you haven't created a snapshot. And then the last question that came through was, what date format do I use to import into a plan from Excel? And the format is year, month, day, in that format that's displayed on the screen down on the bottom left-hand corner here. And we'll go over our new features that went into TransIT for this month. In regards to plans, we added the bulk edit ability on the plans dashboard page. So we did have it for a certain areas of TransIT like modules and scripts. We've now added it into plans, and we've also added the ability to label plans, and we'll go over labels and tags in a little bit. On the issues page, we added the close date that's now visible when you close an issue. So what will happen is when you close an issue, the resolution date will then move to a close date, and I'll be able to show everyone that when we jump into TransIT in a little bit. We've added the ability to rank issues within a priority. So if you do have lots of issues within a priority, you can filter that list and then add a priority to that list. And then when you sort by the priority, it will then sort by your rank that you've put into that priority list. We've added a new comment and attachments pop-up window. So instead of typing in your comment and having to click save, it now pops up in a window, and you can type your comment or attachment in and click save. As I mentioned, we've added the ability to label and tag in plans and issues. It will be rolled out to the rest of TransIT in the near future, but at the moment it's just specifically for issues and plans. We've added the ability to remove or edit your labels and tags with the right-click bulk edit option. And we've also added, and this was a popular request, we've added the default vendor when you add new issues based on your recently logged issues. So if you log several issues with the same vendor, it will now populate that vendor inside the new issue that you create based on what you've logged in the past 60 days. In terms of org settings, we've added the ability to manage your labels in the org settings, and of course, only admins have access to org settings, so I'll be able to show you that. And then for user settings, we've added labels, tags, and close date to your column display. So when you click your user initial in the top right-hand corner, you now have the ability to hide or unhide those 3 columns. You can, of course, do it on your issue dashboard page as well. In terms of the bug fixes this month, just a reminder, we'll send out a complete bug list in our newsletter that comes out on the last Wednesday of every month. You can also view the bug list on the YouTube recording of this meeting, and then you can also have a look on our website as well. That'll have the complete bug list. But I'm just going to highlight a couple of really important ones. So I mentioned that we added the right-click bulk edit options to our plans dashboard page. The change project was missing, so we've now re-added that back into the right-click bulk edit option for your plans dashboard. And then the other two that I want to highlight is that we've fixed the right-click facility change. So previously in TransIT for your scripts, you had to keep it within a certain range. I think it was up to 200. You can now highlight your whole script and right-click and change the facility, and it will change all your steps in your script. And the other one that I wanted to highlight for everyone was just changing a name on a user record. Previously, if you change someone's name in TransIT, it didn't reflect the updated name across TransIT, and now we'll update the name across TransIT. In terms of the tip of the month, it's going to focus on the differences between labels versus tags. And it's something that's brand new this month that I'll highlight when we jump into TransIT in a minute, but I just wanted to go over the theory behind labels versus tags. So labels in general are visible to all users. Only admins can manage those labels, either from your org settings or from your issue dashboard page, and labels can be multi-select. Whereas tags are created by a specific user and they're only seen by that user. So if I create 3 or 4 tags, someone else in my organization won't be able to see those tags, where labels are organizational wide. We do have the ability to bulk edit both labels and tags. And then the other couple of things you want to keep note of is that they have to be set up before you can assign. So I'll show you how to set up your labels and tags. And then the only other thing you want to note in terms of tags is that the column is hidden by default on your issue dashboard page. So if you want to unhide that, each user has to do that themselves. So we'll jump into TransIT unless someone or anyone has any questions before we jump into TransIT. Great. So we'll go into the new features for plans. So we've added the ability to bulk edit on your plans dashboard page. So if I want to edit one plan or I want to edit multiple plans, I can just highlight my plans I want to edit, right click, and then you've got your bulk edit feature here. And then you can edit whatever you'd like here. So you can change your category, your project, you can change your labels, and you can archive or delete your plans. So that's a feature that we started rolling out across TransIT, and it's now hit the plans dashboard page. And then in terms of labels, you've got your labels column here now. And like I mentioned earlier, you need to make sure that you have your labels set up. So if we wanted to assign labels to these plans, we would just highlight them, right-click, bulk edit, and then change labels. And then you have your 3 radio buttons here. So you have your add labels, remove labels, or remove all labels. If we wanted to add a label, we would click our add label, and then you have your labels listed here. You can't create them on the fly, as I mentioned, but later on I'll go over how to add them into TransIT. Very easy to do. So we'll go over that. In terms of the issue page, the closed date will only display once you move your issue from any of the open statuses to a closed status. So if I click this one here and I go and change the status to closed, if you keep your eye on the requested date just here, if I close, it will now update to closed date, and then it will put a date here. If I then go back and change it to open, it will then change it back to requested date. In terms of ranking your issues, this is a new feature that internally we use all the time, and I know some other clients are using them as well. If we wanted to look at all our P1s that are currently in an open status, we can filter our list, and we get our list here. If we click on our review selected issues, we have a list on our right-hand side here that has all of our P1s that are open. If we wanted to rank that list, we would just click on our rank list icon here, and then we just use the drag and drop. So let's say we wanted to move this issue up to the top, and we think that this one should be tackled first. And then let's say we wanted to move this issue up as second. We would then re-rank them all the way we want to, kind of prioritize them. We would then close our list. And when we go back to our issues page, once we sort on the exact filter that we had, so on our P1s, if we then sort on our P1s, you'll see that our 2 issues that we moved to the top of the ranked list are now displayed here. So you would have to go through all of your issues on your list and then obviously drag and drop them wherever you'd like, but it just gives you an ability to rank your issues inside of priority. In terms of the comments and attachments, if we have a look at this issue here, you'll see there's 2 plus signs here. So if we wanted to add a comment, we would just click our plus sign and it brings up the add comment pop-up window, and we can add in our comment and click save, and then same with the attachment, it pops up. This was designed so that if you were typing a comment in with the old text box here and you went and clicked somewhere else in the issue and click save, you lost your comment. So this is now just a more purposeful way of writing your comment. You're writing your comment and click save. You can't go and click anywhere else in the issue. In terms of the vendor defaulting, I'm going to go and add in 2 issues for us. We will choose make solutions. And you can see there's the first issue here. We're going to add a second issue. And if I select the same vendor, make solutions, when I go and add a new issue, it will now pre-populate the vendor in for me, saving an extra click. So if you're in a round of testing or you're logging multiple issues for the same vendor, it will now populate through. So that's your 60 days your history. I know I did it in the 30 seconds, but that was just to show you how it would operate. In terms of your user settings, if I click on my user initial on the top right-hand corner, if I scroll down, you'll see you've got your labels here, your tags, which is by default hidden, and then you also have close date down the bottom. So if I wanted to display my tags, I could right-click the blue header, go to columns, and then display tags. You can see here that it's displayed, and if I wanted to hide it, I could also hide or unhide. I could go to my user initial and then uncheck or check this box here, and you'll get the same outcome. And then the last thing that I'll go over is just how to create labels and tags for you. So there's 2 ways that we can create labels and tags. One way for admins only, they can only create the labels. You can go into your org settings and we come down here and you'll see labels. So we can click in here and fairly easy to do. You can now go and create your own label. And then remember, labels are organization wide, so anybody can use labels. So you can see here, I'm just adding in my 2 labels. And then if I go back to my issues and I click into an issue, I now have labels down here. And I can click on this drop down, and then my 2 new labels are here. So you can see I've got 4 labels here. So if you wanted to assign labels to any of those issues, you can. The other way you can create it, and if it's just you want to create one and you don't want to go into your org settings, you can click this icon here, the reference list icon, click labels, and then you've got your setup here where you can add labels, mark ones for deletion, and add all of your information there. In terms of tags, as I mentioned, tags are user specific. So if I create a tag, nobody else is going to see it. And the way you create tags is the same as labels. On your issue dashboard page, you click tags, and we can then create our own tag here. And then we will do waiting on input. And we will also do a priority issue. So I've added 2 labels, and then if I wanted to go into my new issue that I created just now and add a label, I can. If I wanted to add 2 labels, I can just multi-select and click save, and the 2 labels come up here. And then if I wanted to add a tag, do the same thing, can add both of these tags and click save. The other really cool thing about labels and tags is that you can filter on them. So if I wanted to filter on all the issues that are labeled block, I can go ahead and filter that, and it will filter my list for me. Does anyone have any questions from the last month, comments, issues? Fantastic. If there's no questions or comments, I'll give everyone back your 14 minutes and try and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Travis.
Thank you.
Thank you.